Hey, sorry for that little delay for this entire process of this particular part. Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Silver the Hedgehog here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Kirby Superstar Ultra for the Nintendo DS. So last time we actually did manage to get things started with the forms of Knightmare Ultra, while we able to traverse through Spring Breeze, as well as the forms of Dynablade. And overall, no deaths on it so far, so that's actually a pretty good run so far. And today, for this particular episode, is the fact that we are still continuing things on in Knightmare Ultra, while going through another two segments which they are based off from the Great Cave Offensive, as well as Revenge of Meta Knight. So hopefully we'll get those down by then. So hopefully we would be able to actually just do, like, you know what I mean, briefly win for this specific stuff though, so either way though, let's get to it. And since this is the Meta Knightmare Ultra, this meaning about the fact that in the Great Cave Offensive, along with the forms of Milky Way Wishes as well, we don't have to worry about exploration too much, because obviously in the Great Cave Offensive, there aren't any treasures to be found around here, and whenever we get onto Milky Way Wishes and doing at some point this Friday, then basically we don't have to worry about just trying to find those, you know, Copy Essence Deluxe. So that should be a little bit more obvious for that. Specific things worth noting for. So either way though, yeah, today's day is of course the, I would say today it is the 27th today, in this case in, January 2021. Not much else to talk about at this point in time, apart from the fact that, well, I would like to able to bring you guys my new special guest. In this case, the last and the true definition of the final, toy guest in the forms of today's video. So what would you like to introduce yourselves?
It is I, the great and powerful Trixie!
Ah yes, you're Trixie, aren't ya? You used to be, Starlight Glimmer's best friend, after all.
Yes, exactly. And because of this, though, I thought I was able to join with you guys. Well, to be more specifically you, Silver, just because I heard that you're the only one managed to able to pull off a psychic powers or something like that. So, you know, just like me, for my magical tricks and stuff like that, well, at least whenever I used to become bad, since Season 1 and Season 3, but now I'm started able to actually just to be more forgiven from Season 6 and onwards. Well, it wasn't until in Season 9 where, you know, the finale's over, which is sad, honestly.
Yeah, I think we already know about this, Trixie, but either way though, yeah, I'm very pleased that you actually now the 8th pony to able to join in our channel.
Yes, exactly, especially how Starlight Glimmer is asking me to join in with you. So, but either way though, what's been going on for the sake of this channel anyway?
Well, obviously not too shabby. Well, at least apart from a few rare occasions where basically it's the fact that, usually as you saw that I'm playing through Kirby Superstar Ultra for the DS today.
Oh, I've heard that you're actually doing the Kirby Let's Plays, I see.
Yeah, in fact we actually did quite a few of them actually since 2018, despite we did done one from the likes of last year, which is Kirby's Return to Dreamland and all that stuff.
And I've noticed that you're now doing the recent Let's Play, which is of course some... what's that game called again?
Kirby Superstar Ultra. I almost keep on saying Star Allies because that's the most recent platformer game that's ever came out with.
Oh, I see, because it's one of those recent release since 2018.
Or to be more specifically though, Trixie, is the fact that since that the Nintendo Switch has been out for about almost 4 years ago now. Well, it wasn't until when it gets to March.
So, how well does the Switch does it so well then, compared to the Wii U?
Multiple factors actually, Trixie, is that first of all, the Switch that usually just has, well, I won't classify for saying, oh yeah, I'll get to more about it later, because as you can see on screen, rather than just able to explore through the left door or the center door, because we always have to be forced to go to the right door, which meaning about the fact that it's going to be entirely linear, so we can able to expect that.
Oh, I see. So this is exactly what I was expecting will be. It's entirely linear.
Yeah, well, it's unlike in the actual normal Great Cave Offensive game mode, basically it's entirely exploration, so...
And it's also worth noting for is the fact that I'm about to be joining with you guys at some point in the future. Well, at least I wish if I was gonna able to join in the actual one of those Let's Plays with Starlight Glimmer, of course. But, I'll save that for the future.
Well, to be more specifically though, Trixie, is the fact that, well, at this point in time, it's the fact that recently that you noticed that, ever since, like, last Tuesday or something like that, or actually last Thursday, actually, that, recently Maxie has managed to recently finish up with Ants on the Game Boy Color.
Excuse me? What is that even that Ants game is all about?
Basically, it's like based off from the movie license game called, Ants, the DreamWorks' very first, you know, animated film, which, yeah, you guys should know what I'm talking about for the sake of time, and I do apologize if there's a bit of a lag going on here for the capture card recording on the actual, well, the actual cam itself, but either way though, let's go ahead and take down this puppet. In fact, this is actually the final time we're going to be able to deal out with, slime, as well as puppets, as you can see.
And, I've noticed that you're actually going to be fighting against with the computer virus.
How'd you know about that, Trixie?
Well, because I've watched your playthroughs recently of this game, and I did actually do a massive research on it.
Yeah, I can usually understand for that specific stimulations, so...
Yeah, anyway, oh wow, you just simply managed to take down this, this little, witch, or that little wizard, with one hit. How come?
Well, basically, as you saw on the bottom screen portion on the screen, that I actually did manage to use a mech tornado.
Does it able to detonate bosses?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned about this ever since in the previous part, ever since on Monday. So, but either way though, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because even then though, now let's move on to the next area, which is the Old Tower. Now, here's the thing about the forms of the Old Tower, is that originally, in the forms of the Great Cave Offensive game mode, is that normally you have to do the entire emphasis on the exploration, but as you can see, everything is closed.
And also, I've noticed that there wasn't any save spots, so we can just continue things on here.
Yeah, so technically, we have accomplished the Old Tower.
Yeah, it seems kind of strange, kind of think about it, but yeah, at least it's something worth noting for because it's all leniency and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know that, and yeah, I think that's as far as I can usually try to explain about this for this point, Trixie, is the fact that, you're finally glad that you've now finally joined into our channel, because are you so desperate able to join in our channel since, well, let's say in 2018, because technically, well, Starlight Glimmer didn't actually make her appearance in, Christmas 2018 unboxing video, and then you saw her, you were like, oh, I wish I can just be with you, Starlight Glimmer, or something like that.
Well, yeah, I was expecting it to be, but, now I'm here, but, is there any, Christmas unboxing videos at some point, Silver?
Sadly, we have to end off the series.
Oh, that stinks. Why?
Because, recently, White Teddy did die during the forms of the exact same day, as in the Christmas 2020.
Oh, you mean the worst years ever made, which I've heard on the news and all that stuff, and I'm trying to warn every pony to able to stay put, and also just, well, anything else in 2020 sucks.
Yeah, no. Especially noticeable that you really want to, like, cast any magic or magic tricks on the forms of, well, imagine if you're able to come across into 2020 year, well, the actual 2020 number, what you might do.
Well, I'm gonna put a smoke bomb right in front of the forms of 2020, aka the year of the actual you-know-what, and, I just simply have to run away and just try to find a safe spot. Until when I discovered that there was actually a channel called The Maxi Toys, and I thought to myself I was able to trade my passport so that I can able to join in with you guys.
Yeah, I think that's something worth noting for, because otherwise, I think you're safe from now on. Well, despite the forms of, well, originally I was able to invite, Mighty the Armadillo to our team in the forms of the Maxi Toys members, but unfortunately though, the forms of the actual government's trying to tell Mighty Armadillo to stay put, and then I was like, damn you! Or should I say, like, not now.
Or you weren't able to actually just utilize, if you saw the actual red virus thing you know that you've known about ever since about a year ago, what you might do with it?
I'll be like, it's no use! Take this! That's why I was going to be able to be planning for that stuff.
Oh, are you sure about this? Because even then I've heard it's a very dangerous thing to able to avoid.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, because either way, we now managed to kick out the likes out of the forms of Wham Bam Rock, and sure enough, we'll leave the Great Cave Offensive as to be expected, so...
Well, I'm quite surprised that you actually went into the halfway point in, well, let's just say Meta Knightmare Ultra, whatever what this thing is called.
Yeah, it's actually true. So now we're done with that, and now let's move on to the next level, which is based off from Revenge of Mennonite.
Even though that, it's kind of weird about the fact that you would be able to, like, I just have no idea what I'm trying to say for this point.
Anyways, let's go ahead and just save for this point here, and, well, as we said this before, let's move on to Revenge of the Mennonite segment. Even though, one thing I should probably point out for this point, guys, originally, I was gonna able to actually do this on my first attempt of this recording session when it comes to commentary and stuff like that. Although, mind you, the actual screen resolution is okay enough as it is. However, though, the dialogue, even for the actual commentary, gets a bit meh.
Oh, is that the reason why you're gonna be doing the second attempt for this particular commentary session?
Well, yes. Apparently I have to do this twice. Well, the first time around though is actually pretty cringeworthy, and then the second time around though, thanks to you getting involved, Trixie, then you would be able to actually just make commentary a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, well, at least if you want to call me the great and powerful Trixie. Like, if you do say so for myself, then you're welcome.
Yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and just continue things on here, and as you can see, unlike any forms of how it does it on Revenge of Mennonite game itself, this particular portion doesn't have any text boxes anymore, so because of that though, yeah, we can just simply just go for the actual main game as it is, so...
Oh, goodness gracious, what was that thing?
Well, this is the Heavy Lobster, which, have you ever seen, Kirby Right Back at You before?
I've heard of it, but I've never actually seen it with you guys, including Starlight Glimmer, even though that Starlight Glimmer did actually tell me everything about it. And I've noticed that she told me that Heavy Lobster was actually on the finale of Kirby Right Back at Ya. Or, to be more specific though, Trixie, it was, right to the finish. Oh, do you mean like an hour kind of special mini-movie or something?
Well, it appears to be, yeah, because even though it's been donkey's years since I actually watched the film, even though technically if I ever seen it on YouTube, then by all means I will do that.
I kinda wish if the UK version gets the DVD release of that.
Although, we used to have it in the forms of back in 2007, but unfortunately though, most of our game consoles, mainly with PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and especially noticeable with Xbox 360, unfortunately though, that usually it gets region locked with DVDs, so that really kinda stinks on my part.
But at least on the upside is that since, have you got any of those American games yet? For the sake of, you know, PlayStation series and stuff like that. Like, let's just say, if you get like Last of Us Remastered or something, and then if you come across into an American copy, does that becomes region free?
Yes it is, including others as well, mainly with, well let's just say, for example, if I was gonna get myself my Japanese kind of game for the Nintendo Switch, that particular system is region free also.
And what else is there?
There is Nintendo DS, that's also region free, so that's good news.
Oh, because I can see you got yourselves Okami Den American copy ever since in 2018, I see.
Yeah, even though I was gonna originally try to able to play that, but I think I still need to wait for a spare time, even for when it comes to the point where I might able to actually play on the go. If our room is getting really boiling hot until when it gets to summer or something,
Then you were able to play that, right?
well, assuming if I need to play the original game first, even though that it might take a really long time to complete, but anyway. So let's go ahead and take down this Wispy Woods boss fight. In fact, this is actually the final time we're going to be dealing with Wispy Woods. But that doesn't end off here, because even then we now need to deal with Twin Woods, as you saw.
So, I'm guessing you're gonna use this devastating attack by the forms of Mech Tornado. Wowzers!
So yeah, there it goes. 2 kills in 1. And we should hop on to the Warp Star, but apparently we're not riding onto the actual Warp Star, so because of that though, we ended up flying instead.
Oh, I get it, because Meta Knight actually retains wings, so he's actually a pretty cool character from what I've heard.
Yeah, which, I haven't exactly heard about this Meta Knight guy until whenever I started first time playing through, well, Super Smash Flash on the actual computers and stuff like that.
Oh, does it still become available if you manage to download it before it discontinues?
Well, technically I've finally managed to able to download the game, along with the forms of Super Smash Flash 2, so that way I can able to actually just to play it continuously, so even then though, that's really worth a bargain. Well, despite the fact that, let's just hope if our computer doesn't crash or anything like that, but if it does, then I'll be pretty mad by then.
Yeah, I can definitely seemingly for sure, because you were very hyped when it comes to playing those 2 Super Smash Flash games after all.
And speaking of such though, Trixie, is the fact that speaking of Super Smash Bros, is that, obviously we're really still hoping that we're able to actually get the final 3 DLC fighters coming up for the sake of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so...
Oh, that will be pretty exciting. I've definitely heard about this, and especially noticeable it gets pretty exciting.
Except for one character, which is of course Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses, just because I've noticed that most any other fans out there seem to get really ticked off when it comes to likely for that Byleth character choice, because obviously it's another Fire Emblem character.
So that makes like 8 of them so far, from what I've heard.
Yeah, 8 of those Fire Emblem freaking characters.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, surely I've definitely heard about the series, but never actually played them before.
But it's basically like a turn-based kind of RPG kind of strategy kind of thing.
But either way though, we might try to get one. Although, do you used to have a Fire Emblem game?
Well, yes, it appears to be Fire Emblem Warriors, which unfortunately we didn't touch on it.
Oh, that's a bit of a waste.
Well, I was really excited at first, but as soon as I able to realize that there are some more Nintendo Switch games coming out for it, like, for instance, for example, back in 2018, there is Kirby Star Allies, and also Super Mario Party, and,
oh, speaking of such though, for Mario Party, speaking of Mario Party as you say, did you notice there was actually a new Mario Party game going to be developed at some point soon? By the forms of ND Cube?
Oh yeah, I think that Sonic has already mentioned about this ever since in, well, in his, Spiny Desert playthrough in, Mario Party 3.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, drat. I just got hit. And especially noticeable, I just died right there. And yeah, by the way, as I mentioned this before, that, if you somehow lose a life, your, sword power, or even the actual energy orbs will be, get rid of. In this case, were lost, and you have to able to grind even more of those little orbs until you're able to decide to use your special abilities again. So, I think this happens every time though. Which, it does remind me of something similar to, Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link, where, if you get a game over, well, at least you can able to save your, progress during the end of the day, like you still retain any items and power-ups that you've earned. However though, current experience points were lost, and you'd be journeying your way back to Hyrule Temple. Well, that happens every time though, if you get into the forms of the later portions of that game. Although, the only exception being the forms of the Great Palace, the final temple in the game. Or palaces, whatever, depending on what regions you lived in. So, but either way though, speaking of Zelda 2, I'm not exactly sure if we're able to do that Let's Play, or even the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, because, Zelda 2 is definitely the most black sheep of the series, not just because of the side-scroller approach, but also because that game is ball-bustingly difficult.
Oh, is it, like, extremely difficult for you for your taste?
Well, kind of feels like a similar difficulty ratio from the likes of, Super Mario Bros. 2, The Lost Levels.
Oh, okay. So, I totally see the idea of why most people seem to despise, you know, Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, just because of level design wasn't exactly Mario-esque.
I mean, it's usually, it kind of feels like a similar thing, like ROM hacks or anything else like that. But either way, though, enough about that.
So anyways, let's go in here, and obviously you're going to be grabbing more food to able to heal yourself up.
And to try to take down main cannon number 2 for the final time for the sake of this particular Let's Play.
Oh, okay then, so usually you did done this boss fight before.
But, except the fact that it just makes things slightly tricky, but if you use Meta Knight's, sword stab attack upwards, then you can able to deal the amount of damage to that particular cannon right there.
Oh, genius of you, Psychic Hedgehog.
Well, I usually have, like, psychokinesis to able to take down, well, if you do not know, Trixie, is the fact that back in 2006, when I was teaming up with Blaze the Cat during the forms of the future, in the actual, like, destruction of the city, which appears to be Crisis City, and we need to take down this Iblis trigger. In this case, we just able to actually just well, stop Iblis for destroying the future, even though that Mephiles the Dark, that he just somehow tricked me by trying to take down Sonic, in this case, the real Iblis trigger, and then, basically, everything else doesn't according to plan, and, obviously, it's the fact that I'm now, joining alongside with Sonic until in Kingdom Valley.
Oh, I can see the actual backstory you got there, even though that you're still mad about the Iblis trigger, aren't you?
Well, at least I'm hoping he doesn't exist or anything like that. Well, usually for the continuity of the Sonic universe, well, technically in Sonic Generations does manage to able to bring back some Iblis monsters and all that stuff, since, Crisis City and stuff like that. Well, specifically, the console version in, the PS3 and the Xbox 360 versions. So, speaking of Xbox though, it's the fact that obviously since yesterday, we did done another installment of our video game collection video, which appears to be, well, I would say the Xbox series of, well, the Xbox video game console, video game collection video, which, we did done the original Xbox, and then, I'm presuming tomorrow we might as well do the Xbox 360, and by then, I think we'll probably go ahead and move on to the last few bits before we get on to the special, variations, which, we'll point things out until then, because, we still have not done the PSP game collection, as well as the PlayStation Vita game collection videos yet.
Oh, were you about to be planning to do these at some point? Because I noticed that you actually have done quite a few amounts recently. Like, specifically you have done Nintendo stuff, and also, I don't suppose you've not done the Sega stuff. Oh gee, I wonder why that you actually skipped over the Sega segment.
Well, the thing is though, Trixie, is the fact that ever since, this is still 2021 after all, I think I might as well able to do 2 special variations. One of them is actually involves around, you know, the Sonic's 30th anniversary special, and, also the 20th anniversary of the Super Monkey Ball series.
Oh, what makes you say that?
Well, because it turns out about the fact that, well, according to the actual research, in fact, let me just research it for the sake of time, you notice about the fact that in the forms of Monkey Ball for the arcade machine, they first came out in the forms of 2001 in Japan, and I believe the arcade version of that game does attempt to come out during the same day, actually, as in the forms of the Dreamcast release of Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, interesting, huh?
Well, at least despite the fact that we actually got Sonic Adventure 2 for the Dreamcast from everywhere else, like it came out in worldwide, And despite the fact that it was actually the last Dreamcast game to be existent, which as a result, let me guess, it gets a little bit expensive, isn't it? Well, alongside with the forms of Sonic Shuffle, which, because of that though, I can definitely see why that the original Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast did manage to sell so well. In fact, isn't there any way that you could able to actually possibly try to predict about the fact that with Sonic Adventure remake at some point, like supporting 4Ks, etc.? Well, let's just hope so, because even then though, that obviously the Sonic's 30th anniversary is this year, and also we might as well get ourselves a next Super Monkey Ball game at some point in the future as well, according to reports and stuff, but obviously things has been delayed officially just because of that stupid thing that you've always mentioned about. Yeah, which we're probably not going to talk about it because it's getting aggravating, you know. Okay, something worth mentioning is the fact that the last boss in the Revenge of Meta Knight segment, when it comes to Meta Knightmare Ultra, is that the last boss we're going to be tackling through is the Reactor, which, unlike the forms of how it does in Revenge of Meta Knight original game though, is that you'll face off against with Meta Knight at the end as Kirby, so it is definitely not possible to able to fight against with the double Gengar of yourself. Yeah, which is probably true because of, obviously we're going to explode the forms of the Hello Bird itself. So, I guess that's as far as I can usually try to say in terms of the forms of discussion with you, Silver. Even then though, that I surely appreciate if I would love to join in with you guys. And especially noticeable, I feel incredibly bad for, letting Starlight Glimmer to go all lonely and stuff like that, so, but at least on the upside, I'm now here. Yeah, and once you're done with the reactor, well, that's how the stage ends, because obviously the actual battleship have built has been officially exploded, or in this case, malfunctioning. So, in this case, that's we actually done with 4 levels. So we only got 1 more level left, and yeah, any final thoughts if you'd like to give for this point, Trixie? Yep, I would love to join in the future for the sake of the Maxi Toys channel. Yeah, especially noticeable that you always finally get to meet up with Starlight Glimmer at long last. So, anyways, we got the endings up at this point right here, so join me next time on Let's Play Kirby Superstar Ultra. It's that we're gonna be hit on to the last level in Meta Knightmare Ultra, that is Milky Way Wishes. So, thank you Trixie for joining me for the sake of this video. Yep, or if you want to call me, the great and powerful Trixie. Yeah, I think you probably will get the idea, so see you then Trixie. Yep, see you, Silver. Yep, and I'll see you guys on Friday.